For all those who are familiar with the story behind the super well, the hyper famous opera Carmen by Maestro Georges Bizet, then you're aware that Carmen is not only about the habanera and the other very interesting musical moments that Carmen has. I am referring to Carmen herself, the key role of the whole opera. And if you have heard the dissection, I'm sorry, I think that by at this time the dissection of the habanera has not been aired yet, but well, be aware that there is a dissection of the habanera that will be aired soon. But in either way, there are several moments where Katia and I have talked about Carmen before in the season. I believe it would be the second season where we talked about the most famous operas. We talked a little about Carmen and we discussed also about the difficulties, not only vocally and the great applause that this role always has for the mezzos and contraltos when they want to sing it, but we have also talked about a certain miscomprehension, misunderstanding, because Carmen is not a role to be loved as it is in the case of many other roles. For instance, it is very easy to love Mimi. Loving Mimi, it's very easy because Mimi pictures what we think pure love and a pure girl should be. In a way, we love Violetta Valery because she has her redemption because of love. But Carmen has no redemption at all. Carmen starts and is and will continue to be a gypsy, and that carries a social um, misunderstanding as well, because for many people, being a gypsy is something that is undesirable. If you are listening to us, watching us in Europe, you may be very well aware that people from this group that are the gypsies are not well desired anywhere. So if it is now in this year 2024, just imagine in the 1800s when Maestro Bizet composed this opera. Just think of the stigma that a Carmen, who is a gypsy, is the key role of the opera. And not only that, she doesn't even get redemption in love. For many people, Carmen has led to the wrong side, has led Don Jose to the wrong side. So if we could call it devastation, or at least the loss of everything that Don Jose had, it's because of Carmen's fault. And that is a very non-mature way of seeing things because we have to blame or to put it everything on Carmen. We don't want to see that Don Jose is a very weak man. We say that she is a pretty bad woman. We don't say that he is very childish. We say that Carmen is evil. So we put everything on Carmen, even if we are closer to 150 years after this opera has been published. So we like the opera, but people don't tend to empathize with Carmen. Many people at the end, when she's killed on the stage, think she deserved that ending. In a way, that's the only way that Carmen could have ended because she had done this and she lived for pleasure and everything. So in the back of our minds, there is this belief that what happens to Carmen is not unfair. It's in a way the punishment that she deserves for being loyal to herself. Because if there is something that we can certainly say about Carmen, is that she is true to herself. And that's what she says in her habanera. At no point in the opera, Carmen goes against what she believes. In a moment, she feels attracted to Don Jose, so she goes for Don Jose. But the moment she feels attracted for Il Toreador, for Escamillo, she goes for Escamillo. So she is so true to herself, and even now, almost 150 years later, people, and you know that that could be a very particular situation depending on the country that you live in. It may be for religious or social um, history behind the city of population you live in, not even now, not everywhere in the planet, women have the same rights as men. So for many people, the problem with Carmen is that Carmen is too manly. Carmen can be seductive, but she is the one taking the first step. Something that we tend to think that it has to be the man. And Carmen is the one who chooses her first man and then the second and maybe the third, but that's what is expected from a man, not from a woman. So, with all that on the back of Carmen, it is very difficult for many people to empathize with her. Yes, we like the music, yes, we like the role, yes, the area, but something inside of our minds do not allow us to see that in one way, what Maestro Bizet wanted to show us in Carmen is that society was not ready to face that a woman can choose her destiny or the destiny by herself. And before we go to the vocal part of it, I would like to share with you this part of a recording of the year 1991 of Opera Carmen in the voice of mezzo soprano Estrella Ramirez and the tenor because the two of them have a very hard time in going for the final scene, which many people don't refer to. I would like to make a pause there because what I am going to be referring now are the vocal difficulties of this duet. As I was saying, something that very or hardly ever somebody refers to. This duet is of the most absolute difficulty because not only of what it requires from the drama perspective, which of course the voice must convey it, but because already the two of them have been singing a lot on stage, more for the case of Carmen, but then also because the mezzo and the tenor are going to sing several parts that being the case of the verismo, and remember that the verismo is very demanding for the voices. The verismo has also destroyed way so many voices. Carmen may have been sung like sexualized before, like flirting, like very attractive, but that is a color of the voice. In this moment, she knows that she's facing the man who will end up taking her own life because she knows that she has already it has been there has been previously a reading of the cards in the voice of her friends, and when she had her own reading, she learned that she soon would be dying, and she knows that it has to be in the hands of Don Jose, the man until recently she had been with. Loved, not so sure, but she had been with him. So now she's facing the man, but many times, way too many times, I would say that 99 out of 100 times, either the tenor or the mezzo or contralto fall short in the drama of this part and fall short because they know they are singing way too often in this verismo style. They are singing way too often in a very I would say difficult, but I would also say dangerous area of their voices. And it has to be, from my perspective, and very, very few I could count it with one hand the number of times that I feel like I approve what I have heard being sung in the voice of tenors and mezzos for this duet. Very, very few times where I have heard this explosion of drama when the tenor almost yells, Je suis las de te menacer. I am so tired. I am so sick of menacing you, of threatening you. Will you come with me? Yes or no? Are you coming with me? So how are you expecting a tenor to say that? And that's why I say that 99% out of 100, many times, since the tenor is tired of afraid of cracking his voice, he's like singing Rodolfo, Je suis las de te menacer. And Je suis las de te menacer doesn't mean anything. It is not Rodolfo. It is a man who is about to kill a woman. And on the other hand, it is the woman that knows that it's about to die, but who will adhere to what she is. She will never take step back on who she is. And so that must be portrayed by the voice. So when the mezzo, being careful, also sounds like she's singing a lyrical role of Carmen, that doesn't really work. She's fighting and she's facing the man who is about to kill her. So she cannot answer in a pure lyrical tone. Keep that in mind as we continue watching this final of the scene. For instance, this part, no tinirapa, it also sounds like Rodolfo, no tinirapa, when it has to be something much more bestial, like no turning up, and the tenor should have maybe to accentuate more the consonants that in this case help a lot because the tu ni ra pa, it's very easy to accentuate so that one can feel the drama. But of course, I insist, I understand that it's much safer if he does it like a Rodolfo, no tu ni ra pa. This again, Je suis los de te menacer. And then again, for me, it sounds more like a Rodolfo when it has to be a pure drama. What I was sharing earlier. I am so tired. I am so fed of menacing you. Je suis los de te menacer. Frappe-moi donc ou laissez-moi passer is what Carmen has just said. Okay, then hit me now. If you're going to do it now, or let me pass. That's her final thought. So you say and you yell and you blah blah blah. Okay, if you are going to do it now. She's also tired of fighting, of this tiring quarrel with Don Jose, who is just menacing and menacing and menacing, but who doesn't really dare to do it. Uh, Again, I understand that mezzos do not want to risk of cracking their voices, but if they don't give everything here, then it is not going to be believable what we are watching on stage. This part, by the way, has to be just before she gets killed. This part, by the way, the one that Carmen just did. Cette bague autrefois tu me l'avais donnée. Tiens, this ring that you have given me before, this ring that means a lot to you and that for me now means nothing. Have it. It's yours again. I am so tired. Have it there. And it has to be humiliating for the tenor. This is the final act that Carmen commits just before getting killed. But on stage, it has to be humiliating, explosive from the side of Carmen, and humiliating from the side of Don Jose. Otherwise, we won't believe that Don Jose was brought to kill Carmen. We heard the complete "Eh bien, donne!" Again, I think that the tenor has to play more with the consonants and playing with the sound of his voice so that it sounds like, yes, I am about to kill you. Because "Eh bien, donne!" right after he has been humiliated by getting back the ring, cette bague autrefois tu me l'avais donnée, tiens. Then he has to reply, eh bien, donne, just before he throws at herself with the knife. And that's how we all are going to believe that if not, she deserves to be killed, which of course I don't think she deserved to be killed, but at least we understand or we believe on how the drama has been built around it that this is the only result out of that confrontation. If you allow me, if I were to give a grade on how satisfied I am on the drama conveyed by this final scene for on the video that I am sharing with you today, truth is that I'm not satisfied at all. For the reasons and the many interruptions that I did and that I shared, I don't feel that the drama really built. I don't feel that the tenor really gave everything that we deserved to understand how he was carried by rage to kill Carmen. Even the final phrase, the scene doesn't end when he kills her. The scene ends and the opera ends when he says, vous pouvez m'arrêter. C'est moi qui l'ai tué. Carmen, oh ma Carmen adorée. Now you can arrest me. It's me who killed her. Carmen, my Carmen. But he has to be defeated already by the Ramones. Carmen, oh my Carmen, adore. Because otherwise it gets sounds like it is Rodolfo singing La Gelida Manina. And it is such a shame because a tenor here, Alfonso Orozco, has such a beautiful and powerful voice, but really didn't take that final step. I prefer to listen a believable drama because Carmen is such a drama. I prefer to watch a believable drama than watching perfect voices. And I know that many will not be on my side, but if you're of the team who think that if a drama is to be sung, a drama needs to be sung like a drama with all that is required from the singers. It's such a shame that this very tremendous drama written by Maestro Bizet is sung so carefully.